right when I went to go record yesterday, Charlie Kirk got shot. And then took a couple hours, and then it came out he passed away. And I go to X or Twitter, and that's where I heard about it. And I don't know how I came across the most graphic video I've seen. I've seen all the different angles of how he got shot. I couldn't watch this again. But when I saw him get shot in the neck and the blood just started really gushing out immediately, I go, there's no way he survived that. There's just no way. And then it came out. He passed away. I'm pretty sure he was gone before he got to the hospital. I think I've seen the best and the worst out of people when stuff like this happens. For me, there's a reason I don't do politics. I don't talk a lot of politics anymore. I stay clear of it because it's so divisive. It's so unhealthy. From my perspective, my day-to-day life is the people I interact with. My friends, my manager, my neighbors, people I run into at the airport. I don't try to engage in any kind of political talk. I took a lot of heat, not a lot. Social media heat isn't really heat. I took some heat when last month I was in DC and some guy asked me about Trump, because Trump had the National Guard out in the streets of DC. He was trying to clean up the streets, get all the young people off the streets or something like that. I don't live in DC. I didn't research enough on it. But a guy asked me what I think of Trump and what he's doing. And I was like, I don't live in DC. And I made a joke like, ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't live in DC. And people were like, man, if you don't stand for something, then you're part of the problem. Well, Charlie Kirk stood for something and it got him killed. So I'm like, it's supposed to be something we bring this country together. I don't think there's a more divisive thing. I think politics are more divisive than religion. And this just goes to show it. Whoever did this, and by the time this airs, maybe they've already caught the guy. As of now, there's a person of interest. They got a picture of a guy. There's not a doubt this guy's got military training. There's no way you can shoot somebody from 200 yards away on a rooftop. And I'm thinking he was aiming for his head, but the wind probably caught it, and it caught him right here. That's somebody that's trained to shoot a weapon. I didn't agree with probably 80% of the stuff I've heard come out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. But I will say he's a guy that stood in his beliefs, whether I agree with him or not. I think in his own way, he wanted this country to be a better place. I don't agree with some of the racial stuff he said. It's interesting because he spoke to over like 150 college campuses. He's been on hundreds of podcasts. And I've seen the same 3 videos since he died. It's the same 3. It's the one where he said, unfortunately, I want to keep my Second Amendment rights, and it stinks, but there's going to be people that die because of guns. But he's like, but it sucks, but that's the cost of having your Second Amendment rights. But he also said in that people conveniently left out was, even if we get rid of guns, people are still going to die of guns. If we make guns illegal, they're going to find a way to get them. So let's keep them legal so people that want to protect their families and their homes can keep the guns. But they left that part out, you know? So I was like, but yeah, and then I saw another video where he was talking about, I don't know if I trust a black pilot because of, you know, hiring practices, how we got to hire minorities and stuff. You know, he said, if I got on a plane, I don't know if I really feel like that was the best pilot for that flight. And again, I'm only seeing snippets. I don't know what the full discussion was that led to that. Like, I don't know what question was asked to make him say that, and everything. So my thing is, he was not a threat to society. He wasn't out here breaking the law. He was going into the quote unquote lion's den numerous times. He went on Bill Maher. He would go on people that had different political beliefs in him for here's the key word, a discussion. That's all it was talk. And if you didn't like it, you could turn it off. He's popped up on different algorithms. I've been on Facebook or I've been on TikTok, and I'll see him pop up. And sometimes I would be like, oh, that's interesting. Or I'm telling you, most of the time, I'm like, oh, he went there. He went there. I can't believe he went there. And he was sorry about that. He was getting college students fired up, and they were coming out and having good discussions. And, you know, if you can get people to put their phones down and to really focus on something, I mean, he was an effective speaker. And so I just, you know, I've heard the same people say, I don't have to agree with your political beliefs, but this is a father. He left 2 kids behind, a wife. Yeah, we get that. I understand. I think the most disturbing part is whoever did this, you basically killed somebody because they had a difference of opinion than you. I'm like, Charlie wasn't in government. He wasn't in politics yet. He was about to be. I guarantee you that. There's not a doubt in my mind in less than 20 years he'd have been running for president. Not a doubt. But it makes me wonder. I don't want to be around people that are going to gloat when somebody dies or start posting that same clip over and over again. I'm saying you cannot tell me that's all he talked about. And I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff, but no difference than comedians. I ain't got to agree with the joke you tell, but I will defend comedians till the end to be able to tell any joke they want to tell on stage. And comedians, we should not get offended by anything that's said about us. There shouldn't be any off-limit words. Just know if you use words, and there's one in particular that starts with an N that I will not say on stage. There could be, you got to deal with the backlash. And with the backlash, I almost said repercussions because I knew if I said repercussions, people would be like, well, that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. He died because of it, because of what he said. I go, I'm talking about, like I said, the backlash. But you shouldn't be killed. Nobody should be killed over a joke. Nobody should be killed over a discussion on a college campus. And just the manner, the pure, violent, disgusting, just no regard for the debris you're leaving behind. Kids don't have a dad now. Wife, parents, friends. I'm just going, you know, my opinion, Charlie Kirk, from what I've seen, and I've really seen a lot over the last 24 hours, is I don't think he was racist, but I don't think he had any clue what it's like to be an African American. Or he didn't have, he always, that's the other video I've seen where he said empathy. is an overused word. I don't know what that really means. He goes, but there's sympathy, but there's empathy. I don't think he had sympathy for what black people might have been through. Yeah. And for people to gloat over it is really what's disturbing. To start posting about him, and this is the Charlie Kirk that died. He had this coming. I'm going, dude. You sit there on your computer and you sit there and type in the safety of your own home. He was actually, like I said, going into the lion's den. He was going to college campuses. He was going on these shows, knowing they were coming for him, knowing they was like, oh, I got my argument for Charlie Kirk. And listen, what I've seen over the last day, I probably see more Charlie Kirk in the last day than I've ever seen in all his life. Was he would give it to some people, and then some people would give it to him, and he took it. If you know, he wasn't yelling or calling people names when they were yelling and calling him names on these college campuses. He was having a discussion, and at a time when that's why you go to college, to figure out, to figure out what I want to believe. And my whole problem with politics and in general is you got to agree with everything they say or nothing they say. You can't be like, well, yeah, Charlie Kirk had a good point there, but I didn't like what he said there. I see where that makes sense. I'm going to change my mind on that train of thought. But yeah, I still don't agree with what he's saying over here. It's hard to go to college, to have these debates, to have these discussions, to open your mind. I think it was healthy for college kids when he came there to either get fired up to go against them or to side with them, or to step back and be like, let me think this all the way through. And I say, when you're siding with them, it doesn't mean violence. When you're against them, it doesn't mean violence. That's what's disturbing about all this. I hate that about politics. It's you're either 100% right or you're 100% wrong. You can't be right on this, but wrong on this. I like what you did here, but I didn't like what you did there. That's what I don't like. Some people I couldn't believe how they were gloating that he died. It's disgusting. Like Amanda Seales, and even her, I don't wish nothing bad on her, but I thought it was disgusting how she reacted and just dug in. More dirt, more stuff that Charlie Kirk said that I don't agree with. And like, she goes, no, I don't have empathy for him. That's another thing. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, empathy is something that I do have, that I do. It's funny that word came up, and I think it was probably like a trigger word for me, because I was in therapy, and my therapist said, I lack empathy for other people. I only see things from my way. I don't realize how my actions or the things I've done could hurt people. And I very much lack empathy. And this was like 3 years ago, and I went, wow, that's a hard thing to look at. So then you got someone like Charlie Kirk, who's like, I don't think empathy's like real, basically. It's an overused word. It's an overused term. And I'm going, I didn't agree with that, because I got told I lacked it. And I've been very conscious since then to have more empathy for people. So even though Charlie Kirk said, I don't believe in empathy, I do. So I have empathy, and I have sympathy for his wife and his kids and his friends and the people that followed him. And here's the thing. He had such a strong and powerful voice that people were following. Like, he could go to any college and pack it out. Who's to say over time he doesn't start to soften, or he doesn't start to change his mind about empathy? We're quick to say give people second chances. we're quick to say, you're not the same person at 50 as you were at 30. I didn't realize how young he was. I was 31. So I just think he wasn't a threat to society. He had a powerful voice. He was effective in what he was doing. And I think it was a good thing of him going to college campuses. No, get out. I'm recording.
Come here.
Yep, sorry about this interruption.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, my nanny's got a deep voice.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Here's recording.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that was a commercial break when my 2-year-old just walked in the room. But anyways, yeah. It just sucks all the way around. It sucks is the ugliness. As much as he died, it's just ugly. Yeah. It's sad. It's just sad. Because honest to God, I look at politics almost like WWE wrestling. Like I'm listening to it, but I'm like, I'm not getting all fired up over that. Every Charlie Kirk video I saw, I was like, I looked at it like I was watching a wrestling match. I was like, oh, they went there. Oh, he got him on that. Oh, they got Charlie. There was a English speaking guy in Cambridge that was grilling Charlie, giving it to him in one of those debates. And I will say to Charlie's credit, he never attacked that guy personally. Never went. He tried to come with stats. And the thing about it, I don't know if they're real or not. I never fact checked anything he said, but I'm sure we'll have more this week. There'll be more people gloating. But yeah, I thought at Man of Seals that was not cool. That was, I don't know, it was just disgusting. I don't want to be around that person like that. I don't want to talk to anybody like that. I don't want to work with anybody like that. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't even let it, he's not even in the ground yet. And you're already gloating like he had this coming. Yeah. Would you say something I don't agree with? You could die for it. And the gun law thing, I just was like, again, I didn't agree with his stance on the gun law stuff. I didn't like that comment, obviously, but I don't think he should die for it. Like I said, people are ugly, especially, and the reason people are so fired up over Charlie Kirk is because he was an effective speaker. He was a leader, whether you like what he was leading or not. The dude was, because we wouldn't have all this coverage if he wasn't. So, yeah, to whoever killed Charlie Kirk, I hope they catch you. You got to be off the streets, because who's to say he doesn't agree with something else? I'm a Bengals fan. What if the guy that killed him is a Steelers fan and he's that far off his rocker, he's going to go after a Bengals fan? I know that sounds crazy, but that's where we're at.